Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Preserving Condition. This is episode 6 and it's July 31st. It's currently 10 to 3 in the Arvo. Got to get a lifting session in later on tonight. But at the moment I'm going to cook up some chicken, get some meal prep going for the next few days for myself. Just pretty simple chicken and broccoli. But yeah, just feeling good. It's currently 51 days out from comp. About to start, tapering down calories at the moment. I've had a pretty good chat with Coach Hubble and we've got a pretty good game plan for the next coming 7 weeks, or 7 to 8 weeks, whatever it is. And it's crunch time, so these next few episodes I'm going to be starting to do a bit more posing updates. I'm going to have to get investigating on competition tans and try to work out who I'm going to go through. Probably will do a trial 3 to 4 weeks out from comp. That way I'm not really guessing too much when I do get my official comp tan. So that's going to be exciting. That's going to be in the next few weeks as well. Weighed in at 79 kilos this morning. It's a little on the heavier side than these last few weigh-ins. I've been low 78 kilos, which has been really good. I think I'm aiming, well, I'm not really aiming for a stage weight, but I think that I'll probably be about 76 kilos, a couple of weeks out, and come in stage weight at around 77 to 78. So I'm not too far off where I need to be. Pretty lean and dry at the moment, so it's now about maintaining and just, those minor details and just critiquing everything in those last few weeks. But got a good plan with Coach and gonna hopefully execute it nice and good. But stay tuned, I'll just be cutting up some chicken and I'll talk to you guys later. Alright guys, so all the chicken's cut up. I cut up 6 kilos, so I've got some frozen bags here that I'll be using for next week. That way I can save some time, just make one mess and do it all at one time. But got some chicken for these next few days. It's quite a bit. It's not just for me. Mum's been eating and prepping meals herself as well, so just cook a lot, whatever, keep it in the fridge, and I'm sure it'll go in the next few days. But I'll show you what I do for seasoning it. I've got this marinade peri-peri chicken hot sauce. I'll probably use for this amount of chicken probably half the bottle. 18 grams carbs, 3 grams protein, and 3 grams fat. So it's going to add about 16 grams of chicken, 16 grams of carbs, but it's going to be pretty much the whole portion. Obviously not going to be eating that all at once anyway, so I usually don't count too much and worry too much about the sauces that I do and flavorings, because it is pretty low macros and low calories as well. So I'll put that one. I'm going to try some this Moroccan seasoning as well, so throw that on, and also some chili flakes. So I do definitely like some hot flavoured spices. So I've also used some olive oil. It's basically just to make it non-stick. These are non-stick pans, but it just helps with cooking it. So I don't usually count the oil that I do put. It's very little, very minimal. It's not shallow fried or deep fried or anything like that. It's just basically a few tablespoons. I'll show you now how much I do put. There's quite a bit of chicken, so basically that's about all. Maybe about four tablespoons at most. So I've got my broccoli, got the chicken cooking in the background. I'm going to cut that all up, put it in the steamer pan, and get that cooking. So stay tuned. I'll see you in that next clip. Like this whole prep, I haven't been restricted the type of food I've been having at all. I've just been counting my foods, weighing everything, and just keeping everything, free in terms of what meals I do want and what food that I am eating. I usually do tend to end up sticking to the same foods anyway. That's usually just because they're the foods I do like, and I'll just eat a lot of it, and I know what I'm working with, I know the macros and how much food I'm having, so I usually just stick with that. But now that I'm about 7 weeks out, the 51 days, I'm just going to try changing up my foods, keep everything a bit more standard, keep everything a bit more simple, and that way I'm not really guessing in terms of what I feel like that next morning. so that way I'm preparing a lot easier and a lot better for show day. Just a tip, guys, with cooking chicken: if you cut it up nice and thin and nice and small, that way you can cook it all at once in one deep dish. You live love and life, and cooks a lot quicker. Bro tip when cooking broccoli: get a raw one and compare it. You can see how much greener it is. Alrighty, so all the chicken and broccoli is all done, so I'm going to prep it up for you now. Or not for you, for me actually. Prep it up so it's easier for me during the week and the days, just to get in the fridge, grab a meal and just eat it, rather than having to kind of subdivide it each day. So I'll do each tub 100 grams of chicken, 100 grams of broccoli. That way it's easily tracked, and I'm not really sure how many meals I'll be having throughout the day in terms of the chicken and broccoli. Just kind of depends on how I'm feeling throughout the day, but I'll be sticking to those foods. And the reason why it's quite simple is just, you know, high carb source, or a low carb source from the broccoli, which has, you know, some fiber, the micronutrients that you need from vegetables, and help get those servings of veggies in each day. And the reason why it's just chicken, so things like, or the reasons behind it is that if I'm sticking to these foods, something high voluminous in terms of how much macros and calories are in them, that way I can kind of work around that day a lot easier. So for breakfast I'm able to have a bit more carbs. For dinner I'm not really restricted to what mum cooks or to what I have for dinner, and I'm not restricted for any snacks that I have throughout the day. So, you know, it's just a bit about that planning and just a little bit of sacrifice for lunch and meals throughout the day. That way I can have a little bit extra for the breakfast and the night time. So that's all the meals done. As you can see here, 2, 4, 8 tubs meal prepped and ready to go for the next few days. 100 grams of broccoli, 100 grams of chicken in each one. So as you can see here, I've still got quite a bit of broccoli and quite a bit of chicken left over, so that will go in the fridge as well. Mum will probably be helping me eat that as well. That way, you know, she's getting in some good nutrition meals as well, and just something that's, you know, can sustain her throughout the day. And I think that's going to conclude this episode of Preserving Condition. Thanks for watching. More nutrition tips and tricks and cooking videos probably to come as well. Yeah, stay tuned for that next episode of Preserving Condition. If you haven't already checked out my episode 5, be sure to check it out. The competition for the free online coaching is going to be run and be announced next week. Leave a comment on that video of what you like about this channel or about this series. Thanks for the support on these videos, and remember, there's always room at Jim's house.